cases back in the news. Every week it seems that there's another run-in with young blacks and the police. Andre Mulligan is a comedian in Hollywood and a native of Louisville, Kentucky. I'm glad you came to be with me today, man.
No problem.
And so you are a comedian. How's things going in that area?
It's going good. Finishing up one of my scripts. I'm doing an animation movie called Flipside.
You have a teenage son, right?
Yeah.
How old is he now?
15.
And he was born out of wedlock?
Yeah.
How is he doing?
It's great.
Yeah, you're close to him?
Yeah.
So you talk, is he out here now?
No, he's still
back
out in
Louisville?
Kentucky, 4.0 student, plays 12 instruments, moving on to the 10th grade now. Been on the honor roll since he's been in school.
So you're able to be a part of his life and all that?
Definitely.
Which is more important to you, that he does well in school and football or whatever he's doing, or he become a man of character?
What's the seed in sports?
Whatever he's doing. Playing music, doing well in school, blah, blah, blah.
I think
which is most important to you as a father?
Those are two different questions, because you're talking about a man's character, which those sports and playing music is going to help him, make him a better man overall. So through the challenges that he deal with, through whatever he's playing, his instrument, his challenging, that's going to make him work harder. If he can't do a blue note sonata, if he can't do that at all, and he keeps working on it, he's doing Mozart, he's trying it. And I listened to him play Mozart several times, and it was something very difficult for him to do. At some point, he was like, he almost gave up, but he kept working. That makes his character better. So I would take that over just being a man of character. If you're a man of character and never experienced anything in life, you're going to fall at one point. But if you know how to deal with those problems, when it comes to you, you're okay.
Which is most important, being a man of character or doing well at his academics and music?
I would say excelling at what he does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's most important. Crime in the black community, especially with black men and now black girls, black on black crime, is going up. In Chicago, it went up 80%. Police officers pulled back.
Yeah.
If they were young men of character, would the crime go through the roof?
I flew back to Louisville about 3 weeks ago, and my mom lives in the west end of Louisville, which is a low poverty neighborhood on one side, and it's great on the other side, and it's like different, like it's a mixture.
Right.
And they were spraying nitrous oxide. That's what it said on the truck, but it was coming out like basically like somebody hit a valve. Now they don't do this in the white communities, they're doing this in the black communities. Now, when you look at that and you talk about studies of like chemtrails, even in the jail system, that they put things in the water and put in the juices that they give the inmates to make them sterile, and some makes them violent, then you wonder like, wow, what is it? So when you got a society that is being doped, and what I mean by dope, that they're in certain different chemicals into foods and different reactions and like those things like that, I think it can make people more violent, and especially if you're trying to get people to depopulate themselves. And that happens all the time. So it's one of those things like, why is it that only in the black community and Hispanic community that you have a high level of violence? It's never like 2% or 3% in the white community. It's always like an 80% jump.
Are you saying that the violence in Chicago, the black on black violence, went up because they're spraying there?
I think that's one of the things, but also I think numbers are screwed as well. I think if I can get you to fear the inner city, if I can get you to fear and buy more locks, buy this kind of car, buy this kind of gun, buy this kind of safety device, you can scare America into buying. So it's always back to big business at the end of the day. That's no different.
You're right. You do have some of that going on. They put fear in you.
It's not some of it.
To get a reaction.
It's not some of it.
So you're saying that this black on black violence is due to fear that is really not as bad as people are saying.
I think it's...
And it's due to spraying.
I think it's scare tactics.
Even when I lived in Indiana, it was going on.
What part?
At Gary.
Okay.
And it was going on in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't as bad as it is today because no one.
People gotta realize, man, Chicago, man, it is. Look, I have people that stays in Chicago right now. I got people that stay there. Chicago can be very, very dangerous. It's always something going on in Chicago. It always a shooting. Chicago is just, man, it's just one of them places that like I don't really even want to go to, bro. Like not messing with anybody if you from Chicago. It's just a lot of stuff that goes on up there that I hear about and that I hear from my folks that stay there. Chicago can be a dangerous spot, man. I'm telling you. If you in Chicago, long as you ain't like on the bad side, long as you on the good side, you pretty much good. But if you on that bad side, man, you got to be careful up there, man.
When dealt with it, so it got worse. And at that time, they were not spraying or doing all that.
But that's weird. When you look at the situation in Dallas, Texas, where the bikers were shooting at each other, and they had this big shootout. These was all white bikers, over 500 of them. They got in a big gunfight.
Right.
The police was there basically just chilling. When they were locking them up, they were sitting in chairs, they were sitting relaxed. But then you had some teenagers go to the wrong part of Dallas, Texas, to a pool party that they were invited in. You got police slamming little girls on the ground, beating kids up. That's weird, but which one did they show more on TV? You didn't hear anything more about the bikers.
But the police, that incident in Dallas happened because those kids, there were too many of them there.
But
this was at
too many of them there versus guns?
No, listen to this.
Okay.
This was at some person, that young girl that lived in that place.
Yeah.
They had a party rec room for them, and they were supposed to invite X amount of people to the party.
Yeah.
They sent out all these tweets and invited everybody and their mama, and all these black kids showed up, and then someone called and said, hey, the music loud, too many kids in one area. The cops go there to clear it out somewhat. The kids overreacted to the cops. That's why that happened that way.
Would you fear, so you're a police officer and someone
Man.
calls you and say, hey, Jesse, we got a bunch of kids out here being kids, jumping in the pool. Or would you be scared of that? Or would you have, hey, Jesse, they're shooting. Which one are you scared of?
Well, you don't know that
No,
they call
which
like
one?
that.
Which
They
one?
call
Hold on.
the
Which
mother
one?
that called.
Which one?
But she didn't call in
Which
fear.
one would make you
but
be
you're making
like?
up an incident that
Which
didn't
one's
happen.
which one's a scare tactic? A bunch of kids, black. Okay, just say black kids. They're going crazy. They're dancing, jumping in the pool. Or we got a bunch of bikers with guns shooting at each other. We got 10
you're
people
comparing
dead.
that to the
No,
bikers.
I'm asking you as if you were an officer or you were dispatched, which one would you want to? Hey, we need 50 police over here to the kids' party, or we need 3 police over here to the motor. Which one would you switch?
Well, it depends on the situation.
Oh,
Because the cops didn't go there to fight with the kids. But let me just ask because of
but
time.
you still didn't answer the question though.
It depends on the situation.
The situation. I just
if
gave you a
there's bunch
simple
of guns-
situation. You got kids over here jumping in the pool. Don't supposed to be in this neighborhood. There's no violence. There's no gun. There's no nothing. They just in the wrong neighborhood. They don't live there.
They're
They're
not
bad
just
kids.
in the wrong
And then
neighborhood.
you got people. You got grown men, bikers, 500 of them, shooting at each other at a diner. Which one would you react more to? Would you say, hey?
Well, of course it would be the one with the guns.
Okay, so why is it in that situation it was reversed? Why is it that the rowdy police went to fight the kids?
So he's saying that the police had rather go get the kids. Obviously, I guess he's trying to say because they are black, and then instead of the police going to the diner where the bikers are shooting at each other at. This is crazy. I'm trying to figure this out because I see he trying to get Jesse to trying to see where he's coming from about, like, would y'all ready to go to the guns, or you worried about a whole lot of black kids that just in the wrong neighborhood? It's like he's trying to persuade a narrative here. So I'm trying to see.
And then the ones with the guns went over and said, hey, you know something? They're okay. They're just killing each other. Let's sit them down. We're going to lock y'all up and put you on a bus.
But with the situation in Dallas, and I don't know about the one with the bikers.
Okay.
But you're making up stuff about the
No,
Dallas one.
it's not.
That
It's
did
not
happen.
made up. It
Hold on a
did
minute.
happen.
I reported on this over and over
It
again.
did happen
on my radio show.
It did
It did not
happen.
happen the way you were saying that.
So
it
how
happened.
did so
The mother called-
were guns involved
Not that I'm aware of.
at the
I don't
bikers?
remember.
There was no guns
I don't
involved.
know about the biker one.
Are you serious? They ran it on the news.
That doesn't mean I
if
know
you
about
report
it.
you know for
I
gun-
got to move
so
forward,
you know
but
for
let me
gun-
tell you.
Okay, go ahead.
You were dramatized in the one in Dallas. It didn't
No,
happen that way.
because you're talking about violence in Chicago, and you're talking about the fact of kids. You're talking about the fact that you got this big 8% spur in violence within a
So
community.
you don't believe that this is happening, right?
I believe that violence happened, but I believe that if you can say 80 here and there's no kind of violence in the white community, there's none. As many white officers that are killing their wives
You had a
in
run-in with-
domestic violence disputes, there's no kind of spike in violence over here, but you got 80% here.
You're making all this up, and
Okay, Well, I mean,
You
you got your iPod.
Let me do
you got
this.
pull it up and see.
So a little bit more about you. You were
Okay.
raised in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yes.
Without your father, right?
Yes.
You were raised with your mother, and you grew up in the projects or something
I grew up everywhere.
in Louisville.
Yeah.
And your mother was on drugs.
Yes.
What was that like for you growing up as a kid?
As mean as mom growing up, it didn't too much bother me too much.
Why not?
Because I always ate. I always had a place to lay my head. My mom still raised me as a good man. She took care of me. Even though she had a drug addiction, her kids was taken care of. So we didn't have to worry about a lot of things that a lot of kids dealt with. Yeah, there was a problem, but once I was older, when it really hit her, I was ninth grader, and my mom really got bad on drugs. Right. But she had been on drugs since 1980. I didn't know it, and it was never like that. But I always knew how to take care of myself. So when I moved out at 14, my mom was on her own. And my mom got herself clean when I graduated, got my second degree. She was clean. So I think some people, I definitely would have wished I had a daddy there. Yeah,
Where was your father?
Oh, doing this thing. He was married, had a woman. He was married to a lady with like 5 kids. He was raising their family, and that's something you see in the black community. It's a lot of guys raising other people's kids.
I know.
And
man.
I mean, but also at the same time, you gotta understand when you look at the child support system, when you look at the fact that they're giving men felonies and 5 and 10 years in penitentiary for missing child support, which is not only just that, it's not only taking them away from their kids.
That's not good, but that's not a reason to leave your family.
I know, it's definitely not a reason. You got to go back to the 1980s.
Were you able to be with your father?
My mama never told me he couldn't see me. So
were you able to see him?
Yeah.
Did you see him while
I saw him off and on.
Off and on. And were you close to him at all?
I was close to him because he was my father. I've always been a different breed that you might not have been around me like that, but you're my dad, I respect you. I tell him my dad all the time now, since I got older, but he's always gonna get that level of respect because I'm a piece of him. So I don't be like, oh, it's your fault. You made a mistake as a man, but I can't fault you for whatever reaction you did, but you're still my dad.
You forgave him for not being there?
Yeah.
Did you tell him that?
Yeah,
okay.
He knows it.
Let me ask, so you told him that?
Yes.
How did you find out your mother was on drugs?
I kept seeing a funny look on her face, and it was weird because...
there gotta be a sad thing as a kid, man, to like find out that your mom is on drugs, and like he's saying, like you seeing her, like her facial expression, you can tell something is just ain't right. And luckily for him, like I said, he was at an age at the time that, okay, something is definitely going on with my mom, but I am old enough. I wouldn't say 14 is old enough, but you do know a little bit around about 14, 15 years old. So it was a good thing he was still able to kind of, take care of himself and stuff like that due to his mama habits and stuff. So.
I lived in a community out Shade Bark Apartments in Louisville where it was probably 300 families and no dads. It was no dads out there at all. It was all women.
Yeah.
And, and a lot of people forget that in the 1980s, in the 1980s under the Reagan administration, they said, hey, we're going to give you a man and we're going to make you happy. And by doing this, you don't have to worry about nothing. You don't have to worry about them cheating on you. You don't have to worry about anything like that. And they brought Section 8. They brought the new welfare system.
Right.
As part of doing that, you had to kick the black man out the house.
Right. Why do you think that happened under Reagan?
I think it happened because it's under the drug administration. They were pushing drugs into the black community in the 70s, and then in the 80s, it was like, hey, we got them on the streets. Let's lock them up.
But that didn't happen under Reagan. That
happened under both.
No.
The say no to drug, the say no to drug era happened under Nasty Reagan. The say no to drugs, that was under Nasty Reagan.
Let's go back to the welfare thing.
Go ahead.
Took the fathers out.
But
Why do you say that
it was a different tone.
Hold on a minute.
Go ahead.
Food stamps and government programs. Why do you say that happened under Reagan?
It did happen under Reagan.
Why do you say that?
Because there was more floods. In the 1980s, there was more flood of crack cocaine into the black community than anything.
But what does that have to do with welfare?
And because the new welfare system came under the 1981 Welfare Act. It was a new change. And part of that, you can have 2 incomes. You can even have an income coming into your family. So The women that were raising kids were single home, stay-at-home moms. They had boyfriends or had husbands that were still working, but they were not married. So they said part of this system, if you're in Section 8, or you're on the welfare system, if there's any kind of income coming into the family, you get kicked off that. So most women, what they were saying, look, hey, I'm not putting up with your stuff, or I'm not doing this. A lot of black men got locked up and got pushed out.
Right.
So that's the reason why when I look at
But it didn't happen on the radio. It started.
it's a lot. That's why Clinton couldn't even get my vote. Go ahead.
It started with Lyndon B. Johnson.
Lyndon, you're going back.
But
that's a different. You're going back way. You're going back. That right there is a little bit different.
No, it's the same. It just
no, it's
grew.
not.
It grew as years.
No, it's not. That's a different.
Let me ask you. Tell us, you had a run-in with the police. Tell us about that.
The run-in with the police.
This is while you were living in Kentucky.
This is when I was in Louisville. Yeah.
What happened?
I had just had a party. I was a party promoter. I threw mail reviews. I threw all kind of parties,
Right.
and we were downtown. And one of my friends that had a party that didn't go so well, so I never walked into the party. I actually just standing outside. And when the people were coming out, a cop car was speeding past, no lights or whatever. And I was like, oh, slow down.
You said that to the cop?
Yeah, I was like, slow down.
Oh, you said it so nicely.
Yeah, I said exactly like
slow
that.
down.
I said, slow down.
A boy in the hood saying that night.
I wasn't in the hood.
Oh, where were you?
I was downtown Louisville.
Slow down.
Yeah, slow down.
Okay.
Very, very, very simple thing, because, it's weird, because I remember going through, and I say don't say weird, I was going through a neighborhood, and I was going like 25 miles per hour. And I remember a lady saying, slow down. Kids playing. People walking across the street. So you're a cop car speeding past without your lights on. People are walking across the street, some of them intoxicated, some of them. In Louisville, jaywalking is different. Like here, you can't jaywalk.
Right.
Louisville, you just walk across the street. They don't care in the South.
So anyway, you
the
told
cop
this
car
cop to slow down.
He stopped. He backed up. He said, what did I say? I was like, slow down, because people are walking past. He got a car and said, come put your hands on top of the vehicle. When I put my hands on top of the vehicle, he said, you're on arrest for public intoxication. I said, what? I said, all right, I get out tomorrow. And that's the sad part about being raised in a black community where cops mess with you all the time. We're okay with getting OR'd and going to fight. Like going, lock me up, I'm gonna get out tomorrow, I'm gonna get out in 8 hours. I go to court, look, dude, I ain't do nothing, dismissed without proper cause, good. And when he locked me up, I've been I wrestled in college, wrestled in high school, I'm a wrestling coach. He stepped over, and before he started doing that, he was pulling on my elbow. So both my hands, one of the things you learn as a black man when you get pulled over and locked up all the time, you automatically put your hands behind your back. And I automatically just put my hands behind my back. And he started pulling over on my elbow. So when he started pulling over on my elbow, it was looking like I was turning towards him. And I was like, man, why you keep pulling my elbow? And he didn't say nothing, then he stepped over. When he stepped over, I put my feet together like this. And I said, why are you trying to hip toss me? Which is a common thing in wrestling, is a headlock hip toss. When he did that, I went like and said, hey, why are you trying to hip toss me? And he kicked my legs. When he kicked me, I landed on my face.
And so you ended up going to jail?
No, it's more, I ended up
we
going to jail.
Go
ahead,
here.
but yeah.
So you ended up going to jail.
Ended up going to jail.
How long were you in jail?
5 hours.
5 hours.
I got out in 5 hours, which is weird.
And then you
was 8.
Then you went to court after that?
I went to court.
You sued them?
I'm in the process of suing right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got locked up. They charged me 5 things: menacing, disorderly conduct, public intoxication, assault on a police officer. All 5 of them got dismissed.
Do you have a criminal record?
No.
Let me ask, do you believe white police officers are racist?
Some, not all.
No. Do you support, you've heard of Black Lives Matter?
Yeah.
That agitating racist black group that's running around the country?
You said what?
That agitating racist?
I don't think it's racist. I mean, there's
not racist, you're right.
Yeah, there's
it's
black
not
cops.
Evil.
But
evil
some black
group.
cops are harder on blacks than white cops are.
Do you support that group?
I already said, he said some black cops are harder on blacks than white cops. That's very true. That is true. Cause I know some people try to look at it one way and try to make it seem like white cops the worst, but no, you got some black cops that are way worse. I mean, way worse than white cops. So I give them that right there.
Yeah, I support any positive movement.
You think
as long as it's positive.
You think Black Lives Matter is a positive group?
I think it is.
They were chanting, kill the cop. What do we want? Dead cops. When do we want them now? They want pigs in the blanket.
These were the leaders?
Is that good?
These were the leaders?
Of the Black Lives Matter. Is
I-
that good?
I didn't hear it, but I don't. It's hard to look at that when you go off Huey P. Newton, who started the Black Panthers, and at some point they stepped forward and said, "Hold on, cops, you can't keep killing our people. You are the people that are policing us. You can't keep killing us. You can't keep doing this."
Are you saying
So,
yes, it's good or it's not good?
I'm saying violence against police is not good, but I think if you see a police officer beating on people and hitting them, I think as citizens we need to step forward.
If black young people didn't commit so many crimes that they were not out of control in violent ways throughout the country, would the officers have to be so tough on them?
You think you know the actual when it comes to crimes?
Can you answer that rather than give me another stat?
No, go ahead.
Would the officers have to be tough on them if they were not so violent?
Why do you have to be tough on one group of kids versus another?
No, just answer that first.
No, that's what I'm asking you.
But
Why?
you asked me a question.
I don't
What's the
think they
question?
should. I don't
Would
think
they have to
should.
be
They
tough if
shouldn't.
the blacks were so violent?
No.
They would not have to be.
Who's to say? Because I'm not. Are you violent?
No.
Okay, I'm
And
not
so
violent.
the cops are not tough
He's
on me.
not violent.
But they're not
So-
tough on me because of that.
What cops?
I'm sorry?
What cops?
None.
What neighborhood?
None.
It depends on what neighborhood you're
But
in.
even
right?
if I was in the hood, I wouldn't be that way. So you're saying, yes, the cops would still be tough on the blacks, even if we were
I
not
think they
so
would.
violent.
I definitely think they would.
And why?
I think they believe that blacks are going to act a certain way.
Uh-huh.
No different than when you're on a plane and you see a guy with a sheik on his head. You automatically going to think, "Oh, could that be a terrorist?" America.
That's what you think?
I think America taught us
Do you
racism.
think that when you see them?
I think America taught us racism.
Do you think that when you see a Muslim on the plane with that thing on his head, you're like, wow, I wonder if there's a bomb in there?
Yeah, this is way before. This is before.
I don't
September.
blame you, man.
No, but you got to remember, this is way before September 11th. This is going back to Naked Guns. This is going back to Airplane, the movie Airplane.
Let me ask
is
this.
that we were taught this. We were taught that
Who
all
taught you
age-
that?
America taught us that.
America
We were taught
teach
that
you
all
that?
agents knew karate.
When you
We-
discovered that,
hold on,
when you
we were
discovered
taught
that
this
Muslim,
system.
that radical Muslim were cutting off people's heads, they were raping and killing women. You developed that fear yourself. No one taught you that.
No, it's not. It's not. I never knew what a Muslim was.
All
I
right,
never
but
knew.
when you
hold
started
on,
hearing about what they did,
when I was,
that brought
I
on
was
the
20.
fear.
I was 20 years old when I first heard what a Muslim was, besides learning in school.
Did you first
but
hear about
But I
them?
used to watch Naked Gun 2.5 and 2. I watched all that stuff.
So who
I
taught you to be that?
Society,
Who-
media
who
teaches
in-
us that stuff.
So media said, be afraid.
So did you not believe that all Asians knew karate growing up?
I still don't believe that. You're a Christian.
Yes.
Barack Obama ordered the schools to allow men and women who think that they're a man or think that they're a woman, if it's vice versa, to go into whatever bathroom, shower, or dressing room or locker room that they want to go into because they feel like a woman or they
Okay.
feel like a man. Are you for that? The transgender people, are you for that?
It depends. In public schools, no. I think in the regular community, yeah. I think what's happening is that that Obama helped so many people is that he's getting pulled and he's getting stretched because he made a lot of
so
promises. He's fulfilling a lot of promises, but at the end of the day, I think people are trying to, it's like telling a person, hey, I'll pick you up from the airport, and then you pick them up and they say, hey, you know, son, I need you to take me here, then I need you to take me here. I think that's what's going on right now.
But you don't agree with this idea of just because a woman thinks she's a man or a man thinks he's a woman, they should be able to walk into any bathroom or shower
Think
or
or drink, think or look. That's the difference.
Both.
If you look like one, then go
But
do
they
whatever.
can do it just because they think it.
I mean,
do you agree with that?
Even before this, even before they came out, in gyms it was always allowed. If you was dressed, if you were a woman, if you dressed like a woman, if you was going through the process, as long as you didn't show your privates, you were okay.
And she could walk into the men's.
That's the before the administration.
So let me ask, do you agree with that?
I would agree with it.
So you agree that any man that thinks that he's a woman or a woman who thinks that she's a man should be allowed to walk into the showers, the locker rooms of their choice?
I don't think
And
you're
get
saying
dressed.
thinking. versus having the actual body parts. That's the term I think that people
So
are getting.
you okay with them if they had a body part?
If you have breasts, if you're a man and you have breasts, and you're going through pre-op transition to become a woman, yes, don't go into the men's restroom. Go ahead and go to the women's because I think it creates more
But
problems.
just because you change your body part, does that make you a woman?
I think it doesn't make you
I don't know about that. I don't know. I really don't like to speak on those type of situations a lot, but I don't know. I feel like if you're a man, you go to the men's bathroom. If you're a woman, you go to the women's bathroom. That's just the way I look at it, regardless of how you trying to, like I said, transition yourself into. Like I said, if you're a man, go to the man's bathroom. If you're a woman, go to the woman's bathroom. That way everything is good. But y'all let me know what y'all think.
woman.
You're still a man.
You're still a man.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if your body looks like that, go ahead and go to where you're comfortable at.
But how about if they don't have the body part changed and they feel like a man or they feel like a woman? Should they be allowed to go into the men's showers?
No, they shouldn't be allowed to do it.
Oh,
and I
okay.
think that's what.
So you disagree with that part?
But even Obama even said it. It's like, no, if
No,
they're
Obama
going through
didn't say
if they're going through
No,
pre-op, yes,
he
he
said
did.
if they think
Pull
that
it
too.
up. I need
he's
to
for
start
both
pulling
ways.
some things.
Who is God?
What do you mean?
Who is God to you? What is God?
God to
Who
me
God?
is he's everything.
What does that mean?
He's everything. He's everything. He's meant
Bro, Jesse Lee Pearson is, bro. He be asking them questions, though. I ain't gonna lie. Jesse be asking them questions. Oh, man.
out on the cross for me. He's a man that is the reason why I'm here on this earth.
My final question.
Go ahead.
Are you supporting Donald Trump or
Nope.
Hillary?
Neither.
Who are you supporting?
I don't know yet.
You
I'm
don't
not. I definitely won't be voting for Trump.
And
when
how
it
about
comes-
Hillary?
She can't. I don't think she's getting my vote. She's a front runner for the Democratic Party. Then I'll vote for her.
What
Yeah.
you don't like about Donald Trump?
What I don't, I respect him a lot, money wise, business wise. But I think when you have a person that's coming out that's opening up race doors and they're challenging people's integrity and they're saying get rid of these people and do this and I think.
What do you mean open up race? Give me an example, quick example of what you mean.
I think he's opening up the racism belt here because he's bringing it more to light. This is
Like
nothing
what?
but
What did
this
he
is
open
nothing
up?
but
When you say racism?
besides the fact of being the bigotry.
What did he do?
What do you do besides what hating Muslims? Besides hating Mexicans?
How
Besides
does he hate Muslims? Why do you say hate Muslims?
What do you think?
Why do you say you hate them?
Why does he hate them?
Yeah, you say you hate them. Where's the proof?
Donald Trump. What do he say? And let's go back to this. Cut the gate. They're all extremists.
Cut the what?
Cut the gate. Cut the fact that any Muslim should not be allowed in this country.
He said he
That's
wanted
one
to
thing.
stop
Hold
them.
on.
He wanted to
So-
stop them from coming in.
Okay,
until
so
he
that's
can
all
figure
Muslims.
out-
That's all
until he
Muslims,
can- let me
right?
finish.
Go
Until he
ahead.
can figure out the situation, what's going on, so he can make Americans safe.
But what Muslims?
Is that racist?
What Muslims? There's black Muslims.
No, is that racist?
There's black Muslims.
Any Muslim that's coming in, so he's not
Okay, so
discriminating.
is
that racist?
That's racism.
That's racist.
That's
To make you
racism.
safe is
Yeah.
racist.
All right. What Muslims? Are you talking about Muslims in Africa? Are you talking about Muslims in East Africa? Are you talking about
But-
the ones in Europe? What Muslim are you talking
Andre,
about?
are you saying for the President of the United States to make an attempt
Mm-hmm.
to make you safe as an American is racist?
I would rather die by them than get shot by a white cop any day.
That's not what I asked you.
But you asked the
Are
question.
you saying Donald Trump is a racist because he want to make Americans safe first?
America's not safe.
Are you saying that's the racism?
It's safe.
You're not asking. Give me a
No,
yes or no.
I'm trying to give you a yes or no. But if you ask me this,
You said Donald Trump is a racist, and you gave me the example of him wanting to make us safe by stopping the Muslims to come in so you can figure out what's going on. Are you saying that's racism?
I believe that is racism.
Really?
Because you're grouping a group of people into one.
So he shouldn't make you safe
Make me safe out.
as an
Make you
American
safe.
from our enemy, foreign enemies.
He's making white America safe. He's not making black America safe. He's
Thank
not
you.
making Hispanic America safe, Mexican America
How
safe.
he going to make a white American safe but not you? You're in America too.
No, I don't get the same respect that white Americans get
From whom?
from people in general. Are you serious?
And why not?
Why not? Because I'm a black male and I'm an educated black male. I'm a threat. What you talking about?
Who are you a threat
I'm
to?
a threat to anybody.
Are you a threat to white people?
I'm a threat to them. I'm a threat to you.
How you a threat to me?
What? Oh my God, bro. He said I'm an educated black man. And since I'm an educated black man, that makes me a threat to white people? And pretty much he said black people because he said Jesse Lee Peters, Jesse Lee too. What?
But so you feel like you're a threat?
I feel that anytime that you
don't even look like a threat.
I don't look like a threat, but
Why think that way?
It's not the fact, it's through watching.
You're too nice of a guy to live that way.
Hey, trust me, I watched as a wrestling coach. I used to watch situations like that where
But you're
cops
reading
would
these
get
wrong.
called and the cops would go talk to the white people and then come and talk to the black people.
Well, thank you for coming, man.
You're welcome.
Did you
man.
enjoy that? You had fun?
I did.
Yeah.
Have fun, man. I'm gonna bring you and question you one day. Man. I think somebody got to put you on the hot seat like I did.
I would love that.
You
People
was
try to
already
do
on
all
it,
the
man.
time. People, I love it. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
All right. And thank you for tuning in, folks.
Wow. That was a deep conversation though, man, but you know how it is. Jesse Lee Peterson be exploding. He exploded, bro. So that's the reason why a lot throughout this. I didn't pause a lot because I really wanted to hear a good bit of this. Like I said, I ain't want to be one of them ones that pause every second to try to give a statement. I let it play for a little while, gather enough information, then I'll stop and kind of give you my feedback on what I done heard. But man, y'all let me know what y'all take from this. Do y'all agree with this guy? I don't agree with that. I especially don't agree with that last part he had said about just because he's a black person, he's an educated black man, it makes him a threat to everybody, basically, black and white. So I don't see how that make you a threat. And you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. That's crazy right there. But like I said, y'all let me know what y'all thought about it. If you did make it to the end of the video, I really appreciate it. Let me know down below in the comment section that you did make it to the end. That way I can leave a heart by your comment because I really appreciate you watching the entire video with me, all right? But I'll catch y'all in the next one.